Hey, how you doing? It's Dan McDonald. Of course, you know I'm the Life Regenerator here on YouTube, and I'm here with my friend Dave, who is a super champion.
Thanks, man.
And we just had a chance to connect in LA by chance. So I was like, hey, let's keep the saga going because you've had some experiences recently and moving forward in your progressing in your evolution of health. And you're such a righteous person. I really, really appreciate you a lot for your integrity and your clarity, but that you weren't always necessarily that way.
No.
So your story reminds me a little bit about, you know, cheeseburgers, fat, overweight, addicted to drugs, rebellious, and something kind of clicked, like a disease diagnosis. Did that push it over the edge for like, I better change my life?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the tumor did it. As I've mentioned before, you know, my spiritual connection, surrendering my life to the Lord, really just kind of connected me, and I started listening to that conviction, cleaned up the drugs, the alcohol, you know, and then I still was an emotional eater. So I was still consuming things that I knew were destructive to my body. I was in this emotional, destructive pattern of food consumption.
So food was your drug?
It was my crutch, yeah. I cleaned up everything else, what people would associate as drugs, you know.
And you've been around raw food your whole life. Health, Lou Corona's your uncle, you know, you've been around this stuff your whole life. You just rebelled against it.
I did, exactly, yeah. I just pretty much rejected it, did my own thing, built that box around myself, and didn't want to believe that it could happen to me, or I was above, you know, the toxins that were in the food. I was above being addicted to drugs, and I had all this control, and I didn't. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
You know.
So it wasn't really overweight, wasn't your big issue, but it was just like foggy-headed, post-traumatic stress from the war, and just, you know, your relationship was suffering. You have 4 children. I imagine your finances weren't doing very well. Everything was kind of a mess.
Yeah, I was an angry person, you know.
So we're not going to say that raw food, I mean, you know, your relationship with the Lord has got, but yet you still had that, and a lot of people do, and they go to church on Sunday and they eat coffee and donuts, and they're acidic and overweight and tired and fuzzy. So you can have a relationship with the Lord and still be sick and not well and not vibrant. How is your head now that you're on a 100% raw food diet?
It's definitely clear, and I like how you pointed that out. People do go to church on Sundays, and they get into this legalistic, ritualistic religion type, and that's not what I'm talking about per se. I'm saying just more clearly a relationship. I surrendered my life to the Lord Jesus Christ and accepted Him for what He did for me. And I have a relationship with Him. But like you said, just having a relationship doesn't mean you're letting go of other destructive patterns that are in your life. It's not like, oh, I have a relationship with the Lord and now all the destruction and everything's gone out of my life. We still have free will. We still have choices that we have to make. And I was making a choice.
It's very practical.
You know,
It's practical spirituality. It's not like you can just go, oh, you know, get baptized and then punch anyone in the face that you want, eat anything you want, and you won't have to suffer the consequences. You know what I mean? And everyone has a lot of different beliefs, but that really wasn't the nature of the video. What I like to promote in my job in this world is the power of raw foods. Now, from the last time I saw you, your skin has improved dramatically.
Thank you.
And your whole everything, your whole aura, if you will.
Thanks.
You know, east versus west. You know, but your energy is much clearer. And I'm very perceptive on things like that. You just finished a 6-day watermelon cleanse.
Right, I did. Yeah, that was pretty intense. I got up to a point, and I would have went longer. I would have went longer on the watermelon cleanse, but I couldn't because I had to actually fly down here and meet up with Lou, and we had some stuff going on work-wise and just people that I had to meet. And so that watermelon cleanse had me in this massive detox. I mean, you can see from some of my videos that I've done, since I've been here with you, I've been video blogging it, but I did it with detox, mid-detox. I was video blogging with my ups, with my downs, and I just had this huge just breakout on my lip, and just my body was just going into just dump mode. I mean, it was detoxing heavy, and so I had to actually stop that about a week before I traveled down to here and
get stabilized again, but it did you good. You actually did release a lot of mucoid plaque.
I did, and I I wasn't sure whether I believed in the mucoid plaquing per se or not believed in the
No one does until
plaquing.
they pull it out of the toilet like I did. I did 14 days on lemons and I just pulled this thing out. It was my small intestine.
Right, yeah,
actually.
exactly.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it was a small intestine. The large intestine you can clean with colonics and stuff.
Right.
It's the small intestine you can't get up there with the water. And it's always, so that's a very interesting thing, and it was mucoid plaque. No one believes it until they pull their own out after some kind of deep tissue.
A lot of people, too, they want to, the argument will be, well, it's the psyllium husk, or it's one of these, you know, it's these herbs and the bentonite and all these different things. And so nobody can argue with just straight watermelon. That's all I did. I didn't have anything else other than watermelon and the the enzymes, the multiple digestive enzymes.
And you don't pull watermelon out of the toilet like that.
Yeah, that was no watermelon.
Right.
So if your stomach can handle it, I mean, that video, I posted my live pictures at the end of that video, what I pulled out. I slapped on the kitchen glove and pulled it up and out and snapped photos of it. I mean, it was bad.
We'll have to give them your YouTube channel at the end here. I'll put a link down below.
Oh, cool.
So that you can continue to inspire people because you got the DTM fire and you started making some videos. So that's cool because your story is good because what I'm seeing here is you had a lot of things like when you gave your life to the Lord. That's a big step. But then and so many people are like, I'm spiritual. I can eat cheeseburgers. You know, and it's like, but what was and I like to emphasize the raw foods because I had this, it was very practical, it's real.
Yes.
Fruits, vegetables, soaked nuts and seeds, living food for your brain and your body and your digestive system and your organs and your glands and your cells and tissues. I mean, it's real.
Yeah.
Was that what got you moving in the direction of a real shift when you changed the diet?
You know, the shift for me pulled me out of the funk of lying to myself. And I talk to people now when they ask me about it. The thing that came onto my heart to best describe what I was going through is the word fat. And so when I look at people now, I can call even skinny people fat. There's two types of fat. There's physical fat, and then there's spiritual fat, and that's F-A-T. And this was the acronym that best described my situation. I was being fat, F-A-T, meaning failing at truth. I was failing at truth with myself. I was being spiritually fat with myself. And what I mean by being spiritually fat with myself is I was lying to myself, consuming foods with toxins, consuming foods that I knew had destructive measure to them, thinking that I wasn't going to be destroying or disturbing anything in the inside.
How's your brain function now that you're on 100% raw food?
Oh man, the clarity is amazing. I mean, when I pulled through just the headaches and just the fogginess of my body dumping toxins and dumping garbage, and I've got further to go, you know, but my clarity and just my energy and just, I feel good, man. I feel good.
And every other area of your life is improved by the practical application of diet.
Well, yeah, it has, and it's been good because my wife Eladia, she you know, she's all into the raw living foods and putting together raw living recipes. So my house was torn in two. I had my wife trying to raise my kids with raw living foods, and then here's Dad off, you know, doing garbage and junk foods. And so now I've kind of, you know, come into place, and it's just kind of pieced my family together. And so my wife and I are just so much closer. We're on the same page spiritually. We're on the same page with bringing health into our home and consuming raw living foods. And so it's just, you know, it was that missing link for us.
So were you depressed?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
And the depression was making you reach for the bad food, and the bad food was keeping you depressed. Would that be a fair statement?
That would be fair, yeah, because I would go to get my food fix, which for that moment would make me feel good, and then, in that moment it was just like, yeah, this is everything that I needed. And then afterwards it was just guilt and just depression.
Because you knew, you know, that you should be taking care of yourself. You knew that you needed to, you had already had that in your mind, all the raw food knowledge from your whole life.
Yeah.
So you were going against what you knew to be right because you didn't have the self-love.
Right. Well, and I mean, imagine this. I get up, I go into work, I spend 8 hours a day talking to people that are seeking alternative methods to healing, alternative methods to health, hang up the phone at the end of the day, and after teaching and educating them on raw living foods, I go home and I garbage out.
Okay, so you actually counsel people because you've been working, your family has been involved in the enzymes with Lou and your dad, and you guys are like the enzyme masters, and and also the raw foods, which of course correlates with the enzymes, and then so you're just like living a lie.
Hypocrite. Yep.
Right. So now you're more aligned. So there might be people out there watching this video that are like, they know they should be doing something else, but they're not. Let this video kind of bring you into alignment with your truth. Like, if you do what you regret, you'll feel bad. If you do not do, if you do what you will not regret, and you keep doing what you know is right, you'll be happy. You'll have joy.
That's true. And I think, I mean, on the cellular communication aspect that you and Lou and some other people that I like to listen to talk about, when we're eating, it's almost better not to know, even though I don't want it to come out like that. We need to know, and that's why we're doing these videos and educating people. But when you have that knowledge, okay, and you're not applying it to your life and you're doing the opposite, here's this knowledge, and now you're consuming something that you know is destructive. I mean, how much you're communicating destructively.
Right.
I mean, you're consuming that destructiveness that you
repeating some kind of unconscious,
you know what I mean?
Low sense of self-worth.
Right.
Like, you're not worthy of being healthy. You're not worthy of being loved.
You just suck yourself down into the spiral of things, and so it's,
again, love comes back to being the answer for me. And then, of course, if you have that love and you're willing to go and release that pain through the process of getting on the raw, clean foods, which, you know, when you're on the raw, clean, living foods, it's a lot harder to get stoned on watermelon than it is on a burger and fries with all the enhancers from McDonald's. So let's move in the direction of raw living foods and continue to promote that. I know you're going to do that. Is there anything else you wanted to say, brother?
Yeah, you know, I'm over 80 days. I can't remember the exact day. In fact, I lost count just now as I was trying to think about what day specifically today is for me. But on day 76, I had a doctor's report, and I had 20 to 30% reduction in the size of the tumor in 76 days. And so just the claim here boldly is that raw living cultured foods, raw living foods will heal, and it does heal. And so people that are out there, you know, people that are out there suffering, they don't have to suffer. You know, raw foods heal. And so
cleansing, regenerating, energizing, cellular enhancing, and building and strengthening, tonifying the system with the living water, the minerals, the activated proteins, and the essential fats, which lubricate and keep everything just working. And your mind is clearer because the food feeds the mind. So we're promoting raw living foods. Dave, you're going to continue to share your story on Walking Raw Life, and there's a link down below. That's his YouTube channel. He just took it and ran. There's like almost 20 videos up there now, and I'm sure you're going to make more, educating on some of the things that you're doing to heal yourself, which is, you know, I saw the before and after pictures. I don't know if you've got any of those up there. You might want to do a video on that.
I do. Actually, I basically, and it was inspired by you, Dan, when I did that before. There were a lot of responses to the first video we did together, people saying, hey, you should video blog this. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to video blog it while I was going through it or just to kind of give a testimony afterwards. But with you and Lou just saying, hey, talk while you're in the fire, do it up, that's what I did. And so, you know, I have what I'm going through. Some of the things I've been through. You can see me in detox points, my mucoid plaquing, the detox baths, the pictures and images.
Sharing your vast knowledge of the power of the enzymes.
Right, enzyme
you've been studying that for a long time, so that's really good stuff. I'm looking forward to watching some of your videos and learning more from you about the enzymes, the science of it, the formulations and everything, and all the benefits of the individual enzymes as well.
Yeah.
So that's really cool that I get the chance to pick your brain about that stuff. So we're going to close this video out now. We just wanted to, I wanted to plant the seed here and direct you over to Dave's channel so that you could see his videos. Because when I see a real story here, a real shift, a real transformation, I know it can inspire people because you're going through it, you're not going to stop, everything's improved for you. You've got to continually work on that tumor that you're working on dissolving, and it's going to continue to dissolve.
Amen.
Because you're going to stay on the straight and narrow, and with all the love and support from the folks here on the YouTube, then it makes it, it's just really uplifting, and then you will give back to them and they will give back to you, and then the world will be a better place. So I'll put his channel down below, and if you want to go over there and subscribe, that would be really good to lift him up and really put a fire under his booty to share his knowledge of the enzymes and his process here as he is healing his body, mind, and spirit. So we thank you very much. If you want to give this a thumbs up, that's really cool, or share it with somebody out there. But anyways, what we want to wish you the best is your health, your family, your relationships, and your spiritual journey, and just we wish you well. Anything else, Dave?
Yeah, thank you guys, because it literally was your response to my interview with Dan on that first video, and your inspiration and all the messages and all the uplifting and all the energy that came from you guys that helped me just get out there and start doing what I'm doing right now. And so I'm so grateful. It's really them that has inspired me and continue to I can just feel their energy driving me forward, and so it's just so inspiring. So I love you guys so much. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you guys. So
if there's anybody that understands that, bro, it is me. Amen. Thank you for your time,
thanks,
Dave.
Dan. Thanks so
Thank
much,
you
man.
for your time. We look forward to connecting with you again. Again, go check the link. Go over to his channel, subscribe, and watch some of those cool videos. Look for the one with the mucoid plaque.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, bye now.
Peace.